guys, so today we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about programming jobs and why there are so many positions that goes unfilled if programming is so easy. So let's get into it. So basically the question in question was, Fredrik, if it's true that there's so many unfilled jobs and programming is so easy, why is this? How is that possible? Now, I don't know where you're getting your information, dude. I'm just gonna say right now, because as I suppose it's relative what we mean by many unfilled jobs and programming being so easy. Like, I don't know who told you that programming was easy. I'm assuming that the person who said this is either the sort of person who just is extremely gifted at absolutely everything, and for some reason they feel the need to express how. It is a little bit. I would say it's a little bit condescending in a sense. I don't want to be that guy, but it kind of feels that way. Because if programming was easy, well, then by extension, then anything that is considered by the vast majority of the population that is complicated to most people, then that's easy as well. I mean, is it easy to be an architect or a lawyer or a doctor or something like that? Whenever we're talking about something that is an expert field, I would say that it's a smidge condescending to say that it's easy. But of course, I mean, higher mathematics is easy as well when you're a master of it, right? So what I'm going to tell you is that programming is not easy, and this is coming from someone who's been doing this for quite a few years. And I swear to God, I'm not saying this just because, hey, I feel so cool about knowing this stuff, because I don't really. I just enjoy what I do. And it's not about trying to promote the idea that the thing that we're doing is some type of amazing thing. Sure, I love it, and for me it is amazing, and that's why I wanted to learn it. But as someone who's on the track of becoming hopefully someday a very experienced programmer, I can tell you that it is difficult. It is hard. It requires dedication. It's not simple, but it is doable. That's the main difference. It's not beyond you, and it's not beyond any person. It just requires dedication, and that comes down to you basically asking whether or not it's worth it to you. I mean, for a person who has the best genes in the world and they should die a very fiery death, keeping their weight or staying slim is as easy as just existing. And for some other poor person, it comes down to literally in a slave type fashion, following a very strict diet and exercising every fucking day just to not be the fattest person in the room. So it depends. As for the question, why are there so many unfilled positions? Well, I hope that makes fairly clear. So if programming is in fact not easy, it's actually extremely difficult, and then the demand is extremely high, because it is one of the most sought after roles within almost all of industry. I would say it's maybe only in industry, like in some industry that has usage for information technology. I think that the only other role that might be even higher than that might be sales. Sales is also fairly high up there, but programming programmers are at today. They are like liquid, not liquid because we're not liquid. We're humans. Human gold. That's what they are. In essence, they are human gold at this point, and most companies try to scoop them up by the truckload when they can find them. And I'm just saying, these are the good programmers. I'm not talking about, hey, some Hello World program, you kind of hobby do this a little bit. We're talking about professional grade software developers, the sort of people who build the systems that the industry needs in order to make their money. And last I checked, you don't have to quote me on this, but you can if you want to well, not embarrass me, hopefully, but I think that it was the average unemployment rate of a professional program in professional programming is 1.5%. So of all the programmers, all of the millions of people out there who do professional programming, there's roughly 1.5% of them that are actively looking for a job, who don't have a full-time employment type of thing. So you can imagine what these numbers are telling you. We are talking about it's hard to describe. I mean, it's like programmers are this scarce resource. But if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, because in order for you to be a programmer today, you have to invest quite a lot. There are so many things going on in IT. There are so many different tools. There's so many different techniques and practices. You have to hop through all of these different hoops, because people in the industry, they believe that you should know this but not that. Well, you should know this and that and so forth. And what do we mean when we say you're a front-end developer? What do we mean when you say that you're a back-end developer? Well, because a back-end developer to me knows DevOps as well as knowing how to do design, because we need designers as well. But we can't. There are so many things going on, guys. And there's so much chaos and so much, there are many things going on. And if you want to deal with all of that, then you are a programmer. We have a joke, which I hope that you can join in on, which we had this talk with my coworkers and me. We were talking yesterday, and we were working through this extremely hard bug. And we're talking about a really tough thing that just lasted. It felt like it was the story from hell. It would not just go away. And by the end of it, I said to my coworker, you know what makes a real programmer? Let's forget about all this, you're trying to be clever and trying to learn coding and stuff like that. The mark of a true programmer is that you will bitch and moan all the way through a story and just chug it out, just churn through, just muddy through. And you will suffer and you will complain and you want to cry. And by the end of that story, the second you solve that bug or solve the problem that you have, boom, it's like you never had the problem ever. You just forget about it and then you just move on to the next thing. Letting go of pain and misery, that is the mark of a really great programmer. So what I want you to take away from this is that whoever told you that programming is easy is either a condescending bastard or someone who really didn't give you a clear picture, because it is not easy to be a programmer, depending on, of course, of what you compare it to. If you're comparing it to being, I don't know, something that is even more rare than programmers, then yeah, sure, maybe. And the second part is that the reason why there's so many job postings or jobs available for programmers is because we have this problem that it's not accessible to the vast majority of the population, but the demand is super high. The demand just keeps on increasing, but we can't keep up with supply of developers. And as I said, if the unemployment rate of a developer is 1.5%, you can imagine what the problem we're actually facing when there's a deficit of several million programmers just in the US. So yeah, if you want to, I really encourage you to have a look at this programming thing. I will very happily answer any questions or see if I can help you out if you want some guidance, or you just want to discuss a few things. But you should know that what you're getting yourself into is a lot harder than going into other areas of the open market. But it's also not the hardest thing, and I promise you, you can do this. It is not beyond you. Have a great day.